And welcome to the Terraceum in Mountain Lake Terrace, the home of tonight's 3A South basketball game, a basketball game that will decide who will be in first place at the end of the night. It is the Mountain Lake Terrace Hawks, the home team, who come into this game with an overall record of 8 wins and 2 losses, 3 wins and 0 losses in league play. They are taking on the Shorecrest Scots, a team that is 3-0 in league play, 7-4 overall. And the team that wins this game tonight will move to 4-0 and will be in sole possession of the top spot in the conference, in the division for that matter. This game is big. Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Willits, and I will be bringing you the action here momentarily. Clock right now showing about 45 seconds to go. And as soon as it hits 00, we will switch it on over to the PA announcer, Vince DeMiro, who will be bringing us the starting lineups for tonight's game. A Mountain Lake Terrace team that is giving up some size, to say the least. This is a Shorecrest squad that is about as tall as it gets, at least in Westco. 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", and a handful of 6'1" players. Mountain Lake Terrace, Shimron Mussey at 6'5" is your tallest player. Your second tallest player on the team. A handful of guys coming in at 6'3". So certainly it's Mountain Lake Terrace, who is notorious for their defense, notorious for ball control, and playing a very
good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Terraceum. The student, staff, and parents of Mountain Lake Terrace High School very proud and pleased to welcome you to tonight's Westco men's basketball contest between the Shorecrest Scots and your Mountain Lake Terrace Hawks. This game is being played according to the rules of the WIAA, and these rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators, you can also help promote sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play, and the fans here at the Terraceum value our rich tradition of ensuring that every game embodies the spirit of great sportsmanship. And we certainly invite you to further that tradition this evening. And now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Shorecrest Scots, coming in at 7-4 overall, 3-0 in league play. Starting at one of the guard positions, he's a 6'1" junior, wearing number 3, Malcolm Rozier Butler. For the Hawks, a 5'9" junior guard, wearing number 15, Joey Gardner. For the Scots, a 6'1" sophomore guard, wearing number 5, Chris Lee. For the Hawks, a 6'3" sophomore forward, wearing number 23, Kyrie Armstead. For the Scots, a 6'4" senior guard, wearing number 21, Tobin Lawson. For the Hawks, a 6'3" senior forward, wearing number 25, Gabe Altenberger. For the Scots, a 6'8" junior center, wearing number 32, Simon Acker. For the Hawks, a 6'3" senior forward, wearing number 35, Derek Aniema. And finally for the Scots, a 6'7" sophomore center, wearing number 55, Philip Peppel. And for the Hawks, a 6'3" junior post, wearing number 43, Carson Dallas. Head coach for Shorecrest is Brian Fisher. Head coach for the Hawks is Nayland Sood. He's assisted by Johnny Phillips, Greg Wirtz, Al Shannon, Tim Cashman, and Anthony Asbury. The Hawks trainer, Shannon Ripley. Manager, Matthew Gardiano. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join the Mountain Lake Terrace High School pep band for our national anthem. Hawks pep band in the direction of Darren Fall.
Nice to have the pep band in the house tonight. Always brings an extra element to the ambiance of what is Friday night basketball lights. Once again, Steve Willits here on the Sound Alive Sports Network. Mount Lake Terrace wearing the home whites. Shorecrest wearing the road green uniforms. Each one of these teams with a 3-0 record in Wesco 3A South. The only two undefeated 3A teams left in Wesco 3A South. Edmonds Woodway with one loss. Everyone else with at least two. So the winner of this game getting a nice cushion over the rest of the group. But more importantly, sole possession of first place. Mount Lake Terrace with their starting five out on the court right now. And as you heard Vince DeMiro mention them earlier, Derek Anima averaging 14.9 points and 8.8 rebounds a game. Wearing the number 35. He's out there along with Carson Dallas, who will be jumping against Philip Pebble, the 6'8" large sophomore for Shorecrest. Pebble wins that. Tips it back to Chris Lee, and he swings it over to Malcolm Rozier Butler. Back to Chris Lee. Pushes the ball over to Lawson. Shorecrest down to 21 on the shot clock. They get it down low to the big man. Pebble's going to float up an 8-footer. Airs it over the rim. Grabbed by Anima. And here come the Hawks. Kyrie Armstead, the sophomore, getting it over to Joey Gardner, the junior. Three underclassmen starting for the Hawks tonight as Carson Dallas is the other one. Altenberger for three. Just left it a bit short. Hits the rim. Comes down to Rozier Butler. No score here, 40 seconds in. Both teams with one possession, neither team scoring there. Nice job by Tobin Lawson, draining the two, even though he had Kyrie Armstead's hand right in his face. Can't get much better on defense. Anima with a floater from the right side, misses it. Goes up for his own rebound. Has it bounce out of his hands, however, it was last touched by Shorecrest. Hawks will maintain possession. Nice back to a pass there. Anima goes up, leaves it a bit short again. Ball's bouncing around. Everybody's scrambling for it. Still not able to come up with it. Finally, Pebble picks it up. Kicks it ahead to Lawson, and here come the Scots. Butler driving into the lane. He leaves it a bit short, hits the rim. We're going to get our first foul of the ball game. Foul will be called against the Scots as we wait to see who they're going to call it on. It is, in fact, on Pebble. His first. These two teams both playing 10 games this year. Strangely enough, only one common opponent so far, and that was the Hawks' last opponent. Mount Lake Terrace defeating Glacier Peak 51-48 the other night, a 3-point victory. It's one of those games you just had to wait till the very end to find out who was going to win. Shorecrest, however, having a much easier time with Glacier Peak back on December 18th, beating them 57-46. Scramble for the ball. We're going to get another foul called. Shorecrest with 4 losses on the year so far. Tobin Lawson picking up his first personal foul, second team foul. So Shorecrest back in early December lost back-to-back games to Cedar Crest and Stanwood. Then reeled off 3 straight victories before going to the holiday tournament over in Bothell and losing to 2 very good teams over there. They lost to Bothell by 10. Then they dropped a 1-point loss to Jackson, a game that they lost at the buzzer on a Sam Soffer winning shot. And Soffer, a big-time player over at Jackson, he's capable of doing that. Shot is blocked. Rozier Butler on the other end misses it. Nice job by Anima to play some defense there. Got part of his hand on that shot. Ball finally bounces out of bounds, and Anima not only making a nice defensive stop, as he was trying to come back in bounds, that basketball bounced right towards him while he was still out of bounds. Had to leap over the ball. Was able to avoid it. Hawks consequently get the possession. So they're still looking for their first bucket of the game. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. They're still looking because Armstead, thinking that Gabe Altenberger was going to pop up even more than he already was, floats that one just a little bit beyond his reach. Goes out of bounds. Shorecrest basketball. Rozier Butler does a nice job to get it over to number 32. That's Simon Acker. Rozier Butler with the ball again. Underhand layup. Scoops it up to the hoop. Rozier Butler, numerous times this year, has been the leading scorer for Shorecrest, and he's certainly a player you have to watch once he has the ball in his hands. Altenberger floats it out to Dallas. Dallas driving into the lane, floats one up. Pebble gets part of the ball, but also gets part body. He's going to pick up his second foul already. And consequently, that's going to bring our first substitution for Shorecrest. Carson Dallas stepping to the line, shooting 2. Dallas has been a bit of an adventurer this year from the line. He is 6 for 16. Make that 7 for 17. This trip to the line is brought to you by our friends over at Edmonds Community College. We certainly appreciate Edmonds for continuing to sponsor these broadcasts and to allow our young athletes here in the Edmonds School District a chance to showcase their skills on the internet. Dallas misses the second shot. Hawks getting their first point of the game. They now travel 4-1, 5:12 to go here in the first quarter. That was Ben Smolin who checked into the game for Pebble. He's a 6'6" junior. 14 to go on the shot clock. Acker looking to put a move on. Nice job by Dallas to come in from the backside to help out on defense. He's double teamed, missed the shot. Here come the Hawks. Anima driving into the lane, leaves it short. Altenberger going up, trying to grab the rebound. Can't come away with it as Simon Acker finally picks it out of the air, kicks it forward. Rozier Butler looking for teammate Smolin. It goes off of his hands and out of bounds. Nice job by the referees to get that call right. There was no Mount Lake Terrace player within 3 or 4 feet of that ball. One of the referees got a little confused and initially tried to give the ball to Shorecrest. Everybody jumped in and started protesting. One of the other referees, noticing what was happening, came over and corrected him and gives Mount Lake Terrace the basketball. Still looking for their first field goal of the game. Almost halfway through this first quarter. That ball is tipped by Rozier off the hands of Armstead, out of bounds. Goes on over to Shorecrest. Game that's starting to look very reminiscent of the last Mount Lake Terrace Hawks game. A game in which they led Glacier Peak 16-15 at halftime. Both teams were in single digits at the end of the first quarter, and if this game's any indication, we might be having another one here tonight. Shot goes out of bounds. Hawks basketball. 4:05 to go here, first quarter. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed much in the way of scoring. Shorecrest with 2 baskets. Mount Lake Terrace with a Carson Dallas free throw, and that is it so far. Armstead looking to tie it up. In and out. Rimmed it, almost had it. Rozier Butler on the other end grabbing it. Setting up his Scots offense. Joey Gardner doing a nice job of fronting him. Shot goes up. That's Chris Lee. Misses the basket, but does draw the foul. They call that one on Altenberger. His first team foul against the Hawks. So certainly as rough as things are going on offense, they're doing a nice job on defense. Keeping the Scots contained, but also not picking up fouls in the process. And Lee hits the first one. Second shot in as well. 6-1 is our score here, early going. This is a Mount Lake Terrace Hawks team that's fallen behind a few different times this year, only to come back and pick up a victory. As a matter of fact, no stranger to them even over the last couple of weeks. During the holiday tournament here, as Anima puts up a shot and misses it. This is a Hawks team that trailed West Seattle, a team that at the time was ranked 6th in the state and was undefeated. As that shot goes up, is missed. Follow was also missed. As Lawson missing the first shot. Smolin on the second one. Altenberger loses the ball, picks it up out of the air, score the basket, and draws the foul. Chris Lee, number 5, picking up his first foul. 4th team foul against Shorecrest. So Altenberger will shoot the bonus. This trip to the free throw line also brought to you by the fine folks over at Edmonds Community College. Shimron Mussey checking into the game. Mussey, the second leading scorer on this Hawks team this year so far, with 9.8 points per game. The third leading scorer is the one who just made the free throw. That's Altenberger. converts the three-point play, trims the Scots lead down to 2, 6-4. Rozier Butler's going to take the long three. He hits. He now has 5 on the game. 9-4 is our score here. We were just starting to mention a minute ago, Mount Lake Terrace falling behind West Seattle by 8 points in the third quarter. That was back on December 30th. And then a few days later against Marysville Pilchuck, they fell behind by 10 in the first quarter and came back to win that game by 10 points. Lessie trying to get that ball inside, couldn't come up with it as Smolin knocks it away. Rozier Butler setting the offense up on top along the right-hand side. Gardner doing a nice job on him, kicks it out to Lee. Lee puts a move on Altenberger, drives baseline, then kicks it into the middle to Smolin. He can't hold on to it. Rozier Butler there to clean it up. Butler now with 7 points in the early going. 11-4, Shorecrest comfortably in the lead here with 1:52 to go in the first quarter. Kyrie Armstead, nice move to the basket, just left it a bit short as he drove to the basket along the left side. Lee coming away with it, dishes it over to Lawson. Lawson drains a long three. Tobin Lawson now with 5 points on the night, 14-4. Hawks trailing by double digits here early. Anima over to Altenberger for three. He hits. Gabe Altenberger, 6 points here in the first quarter, 14-7 ball game. Rozier Butler driving towards the basket, gets fouled. Referees are going to conference to find out if this was in fact on the shot or not. They say that he was in the act of shooting. Still trying to figure out who that foul was on. The referee was a little unclear. Gabe Powder about to check in, got a little ahead of himself. Joey Gardner picking up the foul for the Hawks. His first and only the second team foul against the Hawks. So Malcolm Rozier Butler back to the line. Hits the first one. I shouldn't say back to the line. That's his first trip of the night. Stephen Lynn, the 6'1" junior, number 40, checks in for Shorecrest. Gabe Powder, the 5'8" senior, wearing the number 11, checking in for the Hawks. Rozier Butler misses the second shot. He now has 8 points here in the first quarter, and that is the lead that the Scots currently have, 15-7. Altenberger thought about the three, drives the lane, puts one up, gets it to fall. Altenberger hot early. He now has 8 of the Hawks' 9 points. Back on the other end, Lynn with the basketball. Kicks it out to Smolin. He's going to take a 17-footer, nothing but the bottom of the net. 17-9 is our score. 44 seconds to go in the first. Shorecrest really starting to heat up on the offensive side of things. Hawks are going to see if they can match now. Anima tries to do an underhand hook shot, a reverse, does draw the foul with 33 seconds to go. Ben Smolin's going to pick up his first foul. Fifth team foul. That puts Anima at the line shooting 2. Anima coming into this ball game shooting 75% from the free throw line, 41 of 55 on the year. Daniel Johnson, the junior, checking in for the first time tonight for the Hawks, the 6'2" junior. And Aubrey Victor coming in for Shorecrest. Victor, 6'3" senior, who's been nursing an ankle injury. Sat out the Meadowdale game. Talking to his dad, apparently Victor was ready to play if need be, but once they got a pretty nice lead on the Mavs, they decided to let him rest for another day. As that trip to the free throw line also brought to you by Edmonds Community College, as Anima, the Hawks' leading scorer on the year, picks up his first point of the night. 17-10. This is the second one. Smolin gets the rebound. Shot clock turned off. The Scots can take the last shot if they want here in the quarter. Victor getting his first touch of the night. Swings it to Lawson, over to Lynn, back to Victor. We get a little contact down low. I believe this will be called against Mount Lake Terrace. In fact, it will, as Shimron Mussey. Shimron Mussey with his first 13th foul. Having a little contact down low with one of the bigs for Shorecrest. Gets called for a elbow. So one of the referees comes over and explains it to Coach Nayland Sood. 14 seconds here to go in the first quarter of play. 17-10, Shorecrest in the lead. Looks like a football score right now. Rozier Butler drives in and lays it up. Gets it to fall. He now has 10 here in the first quarter. Last shot goes off the backboard. That was Gabe Powder. No good. And we've come to the end of the first quarter of play. Our scores, Shorecrest 19, Mount Lake Terrace 10. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Mount Lake Terrace to inbound the basketball to start the second quarter of play. They trail 19-10. And as we mentioned just a few moments ago before we went to the commercial break, this is not new territory for the Hawks, especially in this home gym. Apparently we have a little issue here as Derek Anima has blood on the back of his jersey, so he's going to have to sub out and go get another jersey on, or at least clean the jersey off. I don't think that the blood is from Anima, but
Hawks ball to begin the second.
So we'll see if he heads back to the locker room, presumably to change his uniform, perhaps to come out wearing a different number. Also noticing that Simon Acker, the big post for Shorecrest, also heading back towards the locker room with the trainer right now, so we'll try to find out what's going on with Simon at some point. Daniel Johnson with his first shot of the game off the back iron. Everybody going up for it. Altenberger finally coming away with it. Give Carson Dallas some credit for that one as well. Gabe Altenberger from downtown. Altenberger about 3 feet behind the line. Drains that one. He's feeling it tonight so far. He now has 11 for the ball game. 19-13. Really, Altenberger shooting, keeping the Hawks in it right now. Lynn spin move in the key. They're going to say he traveled. Hawks
Traveling
basketball.
Hawks
so looking at Acker right now, he's over in the corner of the gym. He hasn't gone back to the locker room. Looks like he's trying to loosen up his right arm a little bit. But with Acker over there out, he's 6'8". Pebble is 6'7", and he's on the bench with 2 fouls. Smolin already with a foul as well. You need to start keeping an eye on these Shorecrest guys if Acker's not able to return.
Back in for the Scots.
First throws that ball out of bounds, turns it over to the Scots.
Armstead
returns. Armstead checking back in for Daniel Johnson. So he gets a very brief breather for Kyrie, the sophomore, who's having a fantastic season so far. And Gabe Powder with the pick. 2-on-1 initially. Slows it down. No, finally lays it up. The basket. No, it does not count. Ball goes in, and Powder's going to get called for a charge.
Player control foul called on Gabe Powder. That's his first, 4th team foul on the Hawks. No basket.
Powder slowed it down just a little bit, long enough apparently for one of the Shorecrest defenders to stop right in front of him. They say that Powder initiated the contact. He picks up his first, 4th team foul against the Hawks. Daniel Johnson getting ready to check back in once again. Chris Lee driving the basket, gets his first field goal of the night. Gives him 4 points for the game as he had 2 free throws in the first quarter. 21-13, Shorecrest right now. Still looking to see if Derek Anima's coming back anytime soon. Armstead over to Powder. Picking up a screen from Massey. 16 on the shot clock. Hawks being very patient. Armstead's going to pull up from 17 feet. Hits off the back iron, bounces way into the air. Aubrey Victor coming down with it. Shorecrest looking for a potential double-digit lead here right now with a 21-13 lead. They look down low for Smolin. Nice job by Smolin to get the basket.
Smolin.
Nice job by Victor on the assist. Smolin now with 4 points on the night. Matches the Shorecrest biggest lead of the game. Hawks missing that shot. Carson Dallas coming down with the board. Kicks it back to Altenberger. He hits!
Altenberger for 3.
Altenberger with his third 3 of the ball game. He now has 14 on the night. 14 of the 16 points for the Hawks. 23-16 is the score right now. Lee rather, looking for Smolin, throws it right by him. The Hawks are going to bring in 3 fresh bodies now as Derek Anima apparently cleaned off the uniform, so he's still wearing the number 35. Daniel Johnson comes back into the game as well, along with Joey Gardner. And Altenberger with his 14 points.
Acker and Lawson checking
Shorecrest getting a very late substitution. It's good to see Simon Acker back in after saw him getting attention momentarily from the training staff here at the gym. Good enough to come back and play anyway. 16-23. Hawks trailing by 7. Massey looking down low, trying to find Anima. Can't get him. Kicks it back to Johnson. Stephen Lynn almost daring him to shoot. Finally, Johnson's going to drive. Double teamed, forces one up. Everybody going for it, and finally, Acker coming away with it. Lawson on the other end kicks it back to Lee. Again, Joey Gardner doing a nice job on defense. Something he's improved on immensely this year. Nice job by the Hawks as Anima pops that one loose. Not sure if he got his hand on it initially or if Victor just flat out lost it. Over on the other end, Lee gets the steal. Easy layup.
Lee.
All Gardner can do is watch. 6 points for Lee now. Shorecrest lead back up to 9 at 25-16. 4:17 to go here first half. Shimron Mussey looking down low, had the right idea, just fired it a little high to Anima.
Out of bounds to Shorecrest.
And that ball heads out of bounds. It's never a good sign when you're a quarter and a half into a game and your 2 leading scorers on the season, which for the Hawks are Anima and Massey. Those 2 have combined for 1 point so far here tonight. 25-16. Lawson rolling into the lane, fires one up from 14 feet out, misses it. Victor comes up with a rebound, kicks it out to Lynn. Lynn for the long shot, gets nothing but air. Lawson tries to save it. However, he was stepping on the out-of-bounds line. Right along the baseline, turns it over to the Hawks with 3:48 to go here in the first half. Malcolm Rozier-Butler getting ready to check back in for Shorecrest. Gabe Altenberger also ready to check back in. So the 2 leading scorers for each of their respective teams as Gardner drives towards the hoop and picks up a foul. So he draws
Chris
a foul.
Lee with his second personal, 6th team foul. That'll put Joey Gardner at the line.
Call that on Chris Lee, his second foul here in the game. Gardner going to the line, shooting 2. This trip to the free throw line brought to you by Edmonds Community College.
Gardner. Altenberger returns.
Gardner
from
drains the first one. He's now 26 for 31 on the year from the free throw line.
For the Scots.
Came into the night shooting 83% from the stripe. Hits the second as well, nothing
Joey
but
Gardner.
net. Makes it a 25-18 ball game. 3:33 to go here, first half. The game that will determine who is in first place at the end of the night. The Mount Lake Terrace Hawks or the Shorecrest Scots. Stephen Lynn picks up his dribble, fires it at one of his players. Gets loose, Anima picks it up, drives in, makes the shot, but they're going to call a foul beforehand as he and Aubrey Victor made contact as they were both scrambling for the loose ball. They are, in fact, going to call Victor for the foul.
Aubrey Victor with his first 7th team foul.
For a Shorecrest Scott, not a bad foul. You saved a basket. does send Anima to the line, as that is the 7th foul against Shorecrest. Puts the Hawks into the bonus where they will now shoot 1 and 1.
Daggy Menelik checks in for the
Daggy Menelik checking in for the first time for Shorecrest. Menelik, a 5'9" junior. Anima making the front end of the 1 and 1.
Derek Anima
picking up his 2nd point of the night. He's now 2 for 3 from the line. One more shot. It's not going to crawl over the rim and in. Hawks, who not that long ago trailed by 10, have cut that lead in half, or cut that deficit in half. 25-20 now. Here comes Rozier Butler on the other end. Drives into the lane between two Hawks. Misses the shot, but draws the foul. Call that on Altenberger, his second.
5th team foul.
And with 3:12 to go here in the second quarter,
Butler will shoot
Rozier Butler, who has 10 points on the night, all in the first quarter, looks to potentially pick up his first points of the second. Misses the first shot. Rozier Butler now 1 for 3 from the line tonight. Make that 2 for 4 as he drains that one. 26-20. Joey Gardner running the point. Sort of Massi thought about it. Drives into the lane, puts one up, misses it. A lot of contact. The refs let them play through it. Rozier Butler on the other end. Kicks it ahead nicely to Tobin Lawson. Lawson with the easy layup. He now has 7 on the night. 28-20, Shorecrest by 8. 2:46 to go here in the half. Anima, right outside the free throw line, kicks it into the lane. Gets it to Massi. Massi, spin move. Puts up a shot, misses it. Nice job by Derek to go up hard for the rebound. Comes away with the offensive board. Armstead with the ball, kicks it over to Altenberger. Back to Armstead. Terrace now content setting up their offense. 24 to go on the shot clock. They've got plenty of time. Altenberger looking for Massi. Had the right idea. The ball gets tipped away, however. Menelik came away with the basketball. He throws it away as Altenberger gets his hands on it. Picks it off. Hawks now with 2:02 to go here, trailing by 8, looking for some points. Anima from a long 2. He gets it to fall.
Derek Anima.
Derek with his first field goal of the night. Goes along with his 3 free throws.
Timeout Shorecrest.
And Shorecrest wants to take a timeout and talk about this. We're going to take a 30-second break. 28-22 Scots. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call 4-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident, Brad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most in $9 plus tax. Call 425-877-560. Visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Steve Willits from the Terraceum in Mountain Lake Terrace, where the home Hawks trailing the Shorecrest Scots 28-22, 1:42 to go here in the first half. Tobin Lawson with a nice floater right along the right baseline. Picks up his 9th point of the night. 30-22 now. Derek Anima on the other end. Nice dish to Massi. Gets that one to go. Massi with his first points of the game. Derek doing an excellent job of driving to the right side of the basket. Drew the defense over. Massi was wide open on the left. Easy basket for him. That is Menelik missing the shot for Shorecrest. Looks as though we might get a foul called against Shorecrest on the rebound. Going to get number 32, Simon Acker.
His first 8th team foul.
The 8th team foul against Shorecrest.
Anima will shoot 1+.
3 players in this game right now with 2 fouls. Chris Lee for Shorecrest. Also, Philip Pebble, who picked up his 2nd foul about 3 minutes into the game, and we haven't seen him since, as Anima drains the first one.
Derek.
Hawks continuing to be in the bonus here.
Daniel Johnson checking in for Mountlake Terrace.
Daniel Johnson checking in for Altenberger. For Mountlake Terrace, Gabe Altenberger with 2 fouls. Nobody else with more than 1. Nima gets that one to fall
Derek
as well.
So
the Hawks have finally fought back to get this down to a 4-point game. And it looks as though Armstead's going to get called for a hand check. If that's the case, which it is, that will be his first foul.
Personal on Kyrie Armstead.
Sixth team foul against Mountlake Terrace. So the Hawks no longer have fouls to give. The next foul will send Shorecrest to the free throw line. 1:10 to go here in the half. 30-26. Lawson going to shoot another shot along the right baseline. Misses it. Ball is blocked from behind, and they're going to call a jump ball. Nice job by Shimron Massi. Ties up.
It's a held ball possession.
Ben Smolin. Shorecrest does, in fact, keep the possession, however. So with 1 minute to go, they do have a new shot clock. Rozier Butler with a long 3. Misses that one. Floats into the air, and Smolin grabs it initially. Joey Gardner doing a beautiful job of knocking it out of his hands. Mussey finally going after it. Nice job by both teams, but in particular the Hawks, as Gardner really hustling to try to get that one. And then Mussey, and we're going to get a foul called as well. Great job by the Hawks there as Acker picks up his second foul. Ninth team foul, and Mussey
will shoot 1+.
Who is shooting 84% from the free throw line this year. Steps to the line, shooting the 1-and-1.
Lynn returns for Shorecrest.
So again, Joey Gardner, who's giving up about 11 inches on Ben Smolin. 10 inches, I guess, if you go by what's on the sheet. Sneaks in, knocks the ball out of his hand. Squirts the ball loose, and then gets his hands on it to keep it away from Smolin. Mussey comes over to grab it, and then he is fouled by Acker. So nice job by the Hawks. Mussey missing the second shot. Did make the first. 27-30 is our score right now. 44 seconds to go here in the half. 14-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So the Hawks will have another chance to get the possession here if they can somehow force a shot, and they do. Lawson goes up, misses the shot, but we do get a whistle.
Second
that was on
personal
Armstead, his second. It is a shooting foul, so Lawson will go to the line shooting 2. Lawson with 9 points here so far tonight. However, this is his first trip to the free throw line. Misses the first. Shot clock will be turned off for the remainder of the game. Lawson hits the second one. 31-27. Shorecrest with the 4-point lead. See if the Hawks decide they want to go for a last shot. Anima threatening to shoot it. Finally pulls up from 18 feet. Rims it around and out. And Shorecrest now deciding they're going to play for the last shot. They've got the 4-point lead. Rozier Butler. You can hear the coaching staff in the background saying, not yet for Shorecrest. They really want them to wait. 3 seconds to go. Forcing up a shot is Menelik. Gets it to fall, and that is the end of the first half. Our score,
and
Shorecrest
33. 33-27.
Mountlake Terrace 27. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on the first half numbers.
And we'll
get you ready for the second half of action. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. We've got the Mountain Lake Terrace feeder program out here right now, and I kind of wish I would have known this was going to happen earlier. I would have gotten some roster numbers for these guys, or some names, as we're going to let them have their moment to shine here as they get to play on the big floor, where some of these guys are hoping in the next few years to be out here playing a little varsity basketball for the Hawks and perhaps helping the Mountain Lake Terrace High School tradition to continue. Nice little head fake there by number 5, being double teamed. Ball is finally stolen away. Nice job by number 11. Easy layup. Gets that one to go. These guys are given 5 minutes to play out here, and I think they're enjoying every minute of it. Mark Armstead coaching the team out here right now. Sons Marcus and Kyrie have both gone through the program. Kyrie obviously still starting for the Hawks. Going to give it Mark to come over here right now, put these headphones on. He can tell us who's out here playing right now. Mark, tell us a little bit about these guys and who we've got. Oh, that's a. There we go. Let's try it now. All
right, that's our 8th grade feeder squad out here right now. That's a little Anayel shooting that three-pointer right there. But this is our 8th grade squad. Been probably playing together for about 4 years now. Got a couple of little new guys transferred in.
Nice move.
Nice move. Good group, man. I'm waiting for them to grit a little growth in them, and they'll be real good, man.
Yeah, it's always hard to gauge for us because I'm used to watching the 11th and 12th graders. How do these guys match up against some of their opponents this year? How's the season going?
Season. It's a piece of work right now. we're trying to get to where we need to get to, but the big thing for these guys is just to make sure that they're prepared for high school, and that's where I'm thinking I'm getting them right there. Records don't really mean a lot, The big thing for us is, are they getting better? And they are. And you can see that out here right now, putting on this little display.
So I have a question for you. Your two sons obviously have come through here. One of them's playing tonight. You played college basketball at Gonzaga. Has the Steph Curry phenomenon kind of reached these guys at this point? Are the kids coming into the gym and shooting more threes than they used to, or what's? Who tell us who hit that shot? I didn't see that. Is that
That was Aaron, little Aaron. That was another good little. He's another little good guard that we have. He's a point guard, shooting guard. He's nice. This is Seydou, football player, but he's first year on our squad. Not bad at all.
Nice move. Nice fake.
There he goes. There he goes.
Seydou, we like it.
Yeah, we do.
Hoping we're going to call that name in a few years.
Yes, you will. I think it is. I mean, kids have always wanted to shoot threes more than anything else.
Ooh.
But the Steph Curry phenomenon is definitely, I mean, kids come down, they used to yell LeBron all the time. Now it's all about Steph Curry.
Got a three ball there, a little bit too far. Nice job by Seydou to save that one.
Yes, it is. Uh-oh.
How did you divide the teams up? Is this a first team versus a second team? Did you just kind of equally split these guys, or
just split them up? I was happy we had 10 people, and I said we're going to put 5 on 5, and I just called out 5 people. Said you have red.
Now this is going to be a pretty big thrill. These guys are just 1 year away from coming up to the high school. Obviously, a lot of them knowing that they're going to come to Mount Lake Terrace, they have aspirations, right? This is going to be something for them to kind of get thinking about the future, I would think.
Definitely. I mean, they were super excited. They just found out yesterday, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, I've been getting peppered with questions, all types of text messages. And, do I wear special shoes? Do I do all this other stuff? But they're super excited just because they're playing in front of the people that they idolize, which is the varsity players.
Sure. And they picked a night when we've got the band, so that's even bigger for them.
It's huge, and it's a big game, man. So, hopefully we pull out this win, and we do it real big for everybody.
Well, see, I'd be remiss if I don't ask you. Since your son's in the starting lineup here, a 7-point deficit or 6-point deficit at halftime, what have you seen so far tonight?
I see that we're not being aggressive enough. Once we start realizing that we go in strong and not worry so much about their height, I think we're going to do a lot better. And that's usually what we do towards the second half. We start going in and start doing a lot better.
And I was mentioning that on the air earlier. The last 2 home games against West Seattle and Marysville-Pilchuck, we've had an 8-point deficit or greater in both of those 2 games. Kind of getting to the point where you almost expect it now, and then you also expect them to come back, right?
Right. I think we got to get these guys off.
Sounds good. Well, hey, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
You.
So that was Mark Armstead again. Mark's, as we mentioned, his son Kyrie plays for the Hawks. His son Marcus used to play. Mark himself playing college basketball at Gonzaga back in the early 90s, before the heyday. I'm sure he likes to think that he and his group maybe kind of set the foundation for the Bulldogs for the future.
AAU feeder program here.
So again, that is the feeder program for Mount Lake Terrace High School.
Who would like to play? And they get to play here at the Terraceum.
Coming up as students, most of which I would think will be coming up as students at Mount Lake Terrace next year. First half stats are in the books. By the way, I just was sent a halftime score here. This is a little bit of a shocker. Linwood boys, thanks to our pal Scott Williams, who likes to tweet out results and photos. He takes photographs throughout Wesco. He is photographing the Linwood Edmonds Woodway game tonight. Linwood with a 41-36 lead over Edmonds Woodway. That is a Linwood squad that, if they win tonight, will be tied for second place with the loser of this game. As we mentioned earlier, this game is for first place. So that could have huge ramifications. Linwood currently in last place in the division. Edmonds Woodway certainly a heavy favorite to win that game tonight. So if that is in fact what happens there, that would be a huge, huge shock, as the stats were just brought over to me. We'll get some of these Mount Lake Terrace stats over to you in just a moment here as I try to take a picture so these guys can get back to taking the stats. We were trying to get these over via phone earlier, and unfortunately the gym Wi-Fi doesn't always help as much as we'd like, so we'll try to break down some of those stats if we can here momentarily.
Ball to begin the second half.
To get you some of the scoring numbers, Malcolm Rozier Butler with 11 points for Shorecrest in the first half. And Tobin Lawson with 10. That's 21 of their 33 points total for those two. The Hawks, Gabe Altenberger, 3 threes. He ends up with 14 in the first half. He is the leading scorer for Mount Lake Terrace.
Held ball, possession to Shorecrest.
Ball gets tied up. Shorecrest with the possession arrow. I'm told that in that Linwood Edmonds Woodway game, Linwood had a 27-12 first quarter lead And David Woodard, the star player for Edmonds Woodway, who's averaged over 28 points per game, had 3 fouls. Nice job by Anima. He blocks it, grabs it himself. He's going to try to go coast to coast. Ball gets batted away by Rozier Butler, but great hustle and great effort by Anima to block that shot and to grab it. Rozier Butler throwing up an alley-oop. I'm not sure who that was for. A couple of the big men for Shorecrest went up for it. Nobody gets the basket. Again, Linwood with a 15-point lead over Edmonds Woodway in the first quarter of that game. Lead by 5 at the break. Altenberger with the long 2. He misses it. Pebble comes away with the rebound. 1 minute into the quarter, into the half, and nobody scored thus far. Still 33-27. So we continue to look for our first points here in the third quarter. So we will continue to try to monitor that Linwood-Edmonds Woodway game and get you updates when we can. Pebble with a nice floater. Pepple with his first points of the night. As we mentioned, he picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter within about 2.5 minutes and went to the bench and was never to be seen again in the first. Massey traveling with the basketball.
Traveling, Hawks ball.
Point out, I would imagine a lot of our viewers know this already, but for those who don't, very interesting in that there are 7 teams in Wesco 3A South, 6 of which are 3A classification schools. 1 is a 2A, and that's Shorecrest right out here. So interesting in that Shorecrest could still win the division and pick up a banner, and obviously that's ultimately what you want. You want to be able to
third personal on Kyrie Armstead.
Hang something from the rafters as Armstead picks up his third. That signifies that you won the division or won the conference. However, when district tournament action comes about and we start to get ready for state, Shorecrest moves over and plays District 1 2A basketball, where all of the other teams in our conference and in our division play at the 3A level. So Shorecrest is not eligible for any of the seedings, but all of the games that the teams play against Shorecrest, whether it's Mount Lake Terrace, Edmonds Woodway, Linwood, Meadowdale, Glacier Peak, they all still count in the standings. I guess one of the reasons we mentioned that is because if Edmonds Woodway were to, in fact, lose to Linwood tonight, and keep in mind there's still plenty of action to go here. Altenberger for 3, in and out. Mussey gets the rebound as he's going to the ground, kicks it over to Armstead. Nice job by him. Gardner from 14 feet thought about the shot, kicks it over to Anima. Looks to drive baseline, kicks it back to Armstead. Armstead with a nice fake, drives in, kicks it into the corner. Anima doesn't hit the 3. Rebound, Rozier Butler has that one slip out of his hands as Lee has to wait underneath it, but comes away with it. Pebble with a long 2. Hits the front iron, grabbed by Anima. He's looking to push it. Finds Altenberger down low, lays it in. Nice job by Derek.
From Anima.
Looked off the defender. Joey Gardner steals it, then he lays it in.
Gardner
looked away briefly, and Joey had the ball in his hands.
Timeout, Shorecrest
wants a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break. 4-point game. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
30-second timeout of the game.
Hey, sports fans. Do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Wesco Conference are playing? The game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on WescoAthletics.com. You know it's accurate and up to date, making WescoAthletics.com the sports, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Wesco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out WescoAthletics.com. The Wesco Conference.
And welcome back to the Sound Alive Sports Network. 4 very quick points by Mount Lake Terrace. Cuts the deficit in half, 35-31 with 5:12 to go here, third quarter. As we were starting to mention a moment ago, if Shorecrest again could move into first place, but they wouldn't be in position to have a number 1 seed since they play in a different district tournament. So if Edmonds Woodway were to lose tonight, the Hawks would regardless still be in first place from a playoff standpoint. Second place overall, obviously, behind Shorecrest.
Joey Gardner with his second team foul.
Joey Gardner is going to pick up a hand check, his second foul. Second team foul against the Hawks here in the half. Malcolm Rozier Butler swings it over to Acker. Rozier Butler, quiet second quarter. They took a pretty nice breather at one point in time, too. Only scored 1 point in the entire quarter. Has yet to score here in the third. Acker misses a shot. Pebble fights in for a rebound. Gets fouled, misses the shot, but he's going to head to the line for 2.
Pebble is fouled.
Going to call that on Armstead, his 4th.
Kyrie Armstead picks up his 4th personal. 4th personal on Armstead. Pebble.
Initially, I thought Mussey was going to get called for that one. That would have been his 2nd. Much more advantageous for the Hawks, however.
Philip Pebble.
He's not, in fact. Pebble hits the first free throw. Sinks the second one as well. And Carson Dallas getting ready to check back in, we would assume, for Armstead with his 4 fouls now. Armstead thinks about a 3, finally fires it. Glad they didn't sub him when they were trying to. They sent Carson Dallas over to the scores table trying to get him in for Armstead. It was too late, and that worked out pretty well for the Hawks as Armstead hits the 3. His first points of the game for Armstead. And Armstead on the other end blocks a shot. He needs to get a clean shot or else he's fouled out. Hawks coming away with the board. 3-point game. We get 2 players getting tangled up with each other. It was Lawson and Armstead. The Hawks took a big gulp there as they worried that if that would have gotten called the other way, it would have been bye-bye Kyrie. However, they do call that on number 21.
Carson Dallas checks in for Mount Lake
Tobin Lawson, that's his
Hawks
2nd.
Ball.
Now Carson Dallas checking in for Armstead. 3 team fouls on Shorecrest here in the third quarter. Mount Lake Terrace only 1 foul thus far. 37-34. Shorecrest jumped out to a big lead early, and they've led ever since. Gardner drives the lane. He floats it in! Joey Gardner with the trick shot. Had to go up underneath a few guys. Ball is loose. Anima knocked it away. Mussey grabs it back to Anima. The Hawks have a chance to take the lead. Altenberger over in the left corner kicks it over to Mussey. 37-36. Hawks, who trailed by 6 at halftime, trailed by as many as 10. Derek Anima for the lead, misses it. Dallas gets the rebound. He goes up strong, and he gets fouled.
Dallas is fouled.
Carson Dallas.
First personal
7 for
on Malcolm
18
Rozier
on the
Butler.
year.
2nd team foul on the Scots.
Carson nice time to make up for some of those misses he's had early on in the season. Has a chance to either tie and or take the lead here. The first one falls off. And this trip to the free throw line brought to you by Edmonds Community College. Malcolm Rozier Butler picking up his first foul of the night. Dallas ties the game.
Carson Dallas.
Hawks were down at one point, 33-23. Since gone on a 14-4 run. They've outscored Shorecrest 10-4 here in the quarter. And we've got a brand new ball game. Lee picking up a screen from Pebble, back to Lee. Pebble dunking the ball with authority. That gets the crowd going. That's something you don't see very often at the high school level, as Pebble two-handed dunk that one. And Nima on the other end gets his wrist grabbed as he goes up for a shot. He's going to go to the line for 2. That is a sophomore, folks.
2nd personal on Rozier Butler. 3rd
Rozier
team
Butler
foul.
picking up his 2nd foul.
Derek Anima will shoot a couple.
Anima heading to the line, where he's 5 for 6 so far tonight. Makes the first one.
Derek Anima.
One more for the lead, and this trip to the free throw line also brought to you by Edmonds Community College. 2:54 to go here in the third quarter.
Derek Anima.
Anima hitting both, tying the game up. Like we mentioned, Pebble, 6'7" sophomore. That will not be the last time we see him dunk in this gym, I'm sure, tonight or over the next 2 years. He is only going to get better, folks, and he might even get bigger. Stay tuned for that. Lawson gets it over to Pebble. Pebble can't make the shot. Ball goes out of bounds. Mount Lake Terrace with a chance to take the lead.
Daniel Johnson checking
out of the game as Daniel Johnson comes back in. 2:32 to go here. Joey Gardner slowly bringing the ball up the floor. Hawks with a chance for the lead right now. Altenberger floats up a shot, partially blocked by Lawson. Acker comes away with it as Stephen Lynn gets ready to check back in for Shorecrest. Nice job by Gardner, shadowing Rozier Butler. Lee's finally able to get it over to him. 22 to go on the shot clock. Lee being guarded very closely by Altenberger. He's going to drive left side. Goes towards the basket, kicks it down low to Acker. Acker misses it. And Lee grabs the rebound, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Mountlake Terrace. Gabe Powder checking in for the Hawks.
Huge break for the Hawks as if
Stephen
Lee was able
Lynn
to come up with it. He was going to
Scots.
dish it to Acker, who was wide open underneath the hoop. Acker's going to take a seat on the bench as Lynn checks back in. Gabe Powder checking in for Joey Gardner. Joey only 4 points tonight. Not much to show in terms of scoring, but certainly has done a ton on defense and has created a lot at the point position as well. Daniel Johnson in the lane. Rozier Butler very upset with this one. He thought he got all ball, but the refs say otherwise.
Third personal on Rozier Butler.
Who came into the quarter with no fouls,
team
has now
foul.
picked up
Hawks
3,
ball.
all within about the last 3 minutes. He becomes the first Scott player to have 3 fouls tonight. Altenberger thought about it along the left baseline, floats up a shot. Hawks in the lead. Altenberger. He now has 18 for the ball game, 41-39. Ask Vince DeMiro here in a minute. That might be the Hawks' first lead of the night. Ball goes over the head of Lynn. Anima grabs it, lays it in, misses the shot, but draws the foul. Derek Anima getting after it, knocks that ball away. Out hustles Lynn to the basketball. He's going to step to the line.
Timeout, Shorecrest. Full
needs a full
timeout. That's their
We're going to
first of
take a
3 full
60-second break.
timeouts.
Hawks leading
When we
by
come
2
back,
and
Anima
looking
will
for
have
more.
2.
You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 1:24 to go here in the third quarter. Hawks with their first lead of the night. That was in fact correct. They fell behind 6-1 early on and have trailed ever since. And they've finally come back after trailing by as many as 10 to take their first lead.
Derek Anima
hitting the first of 2 free throws.
Gardner returns from Mountlake Terrace.
8 for 9 on the night at the free throw line. He's made 7 in a row, which usually means we've jinxed him. We'll see if he can make this next one. This trip to the line brought to you by Edmonds Community College. Make that 8 in a row.
Derek Anima.
You can't jinx Derek
Shimron
Anima.
Masih checking in for Anima.
I mentioned it earlier. Anima came into this game shooting 75% from the free throw line. He's going to take a quick breather at the bench now as we've only got 1:24 to go here in the third. Most of his points coming at the free throw line. He only has 1 field goal tonight, but he's had a huge, huge ball game so far. We don't keep the rebounds here at the table, but he's certainly had his share of those. He's gone after it on defense, getting a lot of hustle points. Shorecrest missing that shot. Gabe Powder looking to push it up. Kicks it ahead to Carson Dallas. Dallas turns around, kicks it back to Powder. Must-see for 3! He hits it!
Shimron for 3.
7-point lead. Hawks with their biggest lead of the ball game. They're trailing by 6 at the half. Really coming alive here in the second half of play. 42 seconds to go here in the quarter. 19 on the shot clock. Rozier Butler for three. Hits off the front iron. Pebble can't come up with it. Loose ball. I'm going to say the Hawks touched it last.
Out of bounds to Shorecrest.
Brian Fisher, the ninth-year head coach at Shorecrest, very upset with the referees. He thought Pepple was pushed. They do get the ball out and almost thrown it out of bounds as Rozier Butler tries to save it back in, kicks it right to Powder. Powder lays it up, hits the front iron, misses it, scramble for it. Lee gets it initially, hits the ground, kicks it over to Rozier Butler. Shot clock is now turned off with 24 seconds to go. This quarter has certainly not lacked suspense or excitement. Shorecrest with only 6 points here in the quarter. Hawks have 19. Down to 9. 5 seconds to go. Rozier Butler kicks it over to Lawson. Lawson's going to fire up a three. He misses it. Powder grabs the rebound, and that is the end of a great third quarter of action for the Hawks. Outscoring the opponent 19-6, taking a 7-point lead into the fourth quarter, and we'll take a quick break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 8 minutes to go here in
Hawks
regulation.
Ball to begin the final
Hawks
period.
Storming back from a 10-point deficit to take a 7-point lead. Malik Terrace also gets to inbound the ball to start the fourth quarter. A little confusion there as the Hawks didn't realize they were inbounding. The referee set that ball down, immediately starting the clock. Joey Gardner for the basket. Joey Gardner, who is at 5'8", 11 inches shorter than Philip Pepple, and he goes right underneath Pepple for the basket. Gardner now has 6 points in the half, 8 for the game. Hawks now with a 9-point lead.
Carson Dallas with his first, 14th foul on the Hawks. Scott's ball underneath.
Fourth foul against the Hawks here in the half. Shorecrest now at 5. So both teams a couple fouls away at least from getting automatic free throws. Pepple goes up and draws a foul.
Massey with his second personal 15 foul.
His second foul of the night. Pepple 2 for 2 so far tonight at the line. Make it 3 for 3.
Pepple.
He is the only Shorecrest player to score here in the second half so far. That's 7 of their points. Make it 8. All of his points coming in the second half. 48-41. Hawks by 7. 7:27 to go here. Dallas with the basketball. Yeah, Powder, Gardner, Dallas, Massey, and Johnson in the game right now for Terrace. 15 to go on the shot clock. Gardner's going to float up a 13-footer. He connects! Unbelievable Joey Gardner coming alive here in the second half. Very reminiscent of what he did against Marysville Pilchuck last week. Game where he came out and had 13 in the second half. Pepple comes up big on the other end. Now has 10 points for the half and the game. 50-43. Malik Terrace continuing to lead. 7-point lead. Gardner's going to fire another one, and he hits again! Joey Gardner on fire right now. 10 points in the half. 52-43. And in a game where the Hawks fans were worried about all the big men, the shortest guy in stature coming up huge in this game, Joey Gardner. 6:21 to go, 52-43. Malcolm Rozier Butler kicks it over to Stephen Lynn, and he can shoot. Misses the three-pointer. Nobody going for it initially. Dallas bats it over to Johnson. Hawks basketball with 6:07 to go. Derek Anima getting ready to check back in for the Hawks. He hasn't been in since there was about a minute and a half left in the third quarter, so he should be at fresh legs, and Powder just throws that one away as it goes between the legs of Gardner and out of bounds.
Derek Anima checking in from Mount Lake Terrace.
Anima comes back in for Dallas.
Timeout Shorecrest is a full timeout.
Shorecrest wants a full timeout.
Full timeout. They have one remaining.
That is, in fact, a full timeout. 5:56 to go. We'll be right back. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 5:56 to go here in the fourth quarter. If you're just joining us, Mount Lake Terrace falling behind early in the first half, trailed by as many as 10, went into the break with a 6-point deficit, and then they came out and outscored Shorecrest 19-6 in the third quarter to take the lead, and they now hold a 9-point lead over Shorecrest. They've yet to have a double-digit lead in this game, and they can do that right now if they can get a basket. Joey Gardner gets another basket.
Count it for Joey Gardner. He's going to
head to the line. Joey Gardner came into the half with 2 free throws on the night. Gardner averages 4.1 points per game this year.
Third personal on Philip Peppel. 5th team foul on the Scots.
He now has
Gardner
14 for the game.
Will shoot 1.
Sets his season high, which had been 13 against Marysville-Pilchuck back on January 2nd. And this trip to the free throw line brought to you by Edmonds Community College. Gardner misses the free throw. Joey Gardner coming up huge here in the second half. Lawson with a long three, leaves it a bit short. Powder grabs it, looking to push it forward. As Johnson on the left wing fires up a three, misses it. Victor coming away with the board. 5:18 to go here in the game. Rozier Butler, his shot along the right side fires up against the side of the backboard.
Rozier Butler is fouled.
He does draw a foul as
Massey with his third
Massey's
personal.
pick up his third.
Malcolm Rozier Butler will shoot 2.
Rozier Butler came out hot in this game, had 10 points in the first quarter. Since only scored 2, 1 in the second, and then that last free throw that just went in.
Armstead returns.
Kyrie Armstead
from
with his
Mount Lake
4 fouls,
Terrace.
checking back into the game for Gabe Powder. 54-44. Here the coaches yelling on the side. Telling the Hawks to box out, and in fact they do as Rozier Butler misses the second free throw. 5:10 to go. Joey Gardner, 5'8" junior guard. Derek Anima dishes it back into the middle where Mussey's waiting for it. He misses the shot, however. Had the look they wanted, just couldn't get it to fall. Rozier Butler looking to push on the other end. He draws a foul, fires up a shot. Gonna call that on
Gardner with his third personal.
Joey now with 3 for the
7th
game.
team foul now on the Hawks. Rozier Butler.
Rozier Butler to the line
Shoot
once
2.
again for 2. Malin Sood letting Gardner know that he wants him to finish the play next time. He was a little upset with him for not planting his feet right in front of Rozier Butler. Much easier said than done, by the way. This is a very quick 6'1" junior guard. Rozier Butler hits the second.
Rozier Butler.
4 for 8 from the free throw line is Butler tonight. All 4 times he's been to the line, he's missed one of his 2 shots and made one of the 2. Anima behind the back, drives into the lane, misses the shot. Mussey goes up for it.
Shamron with the follow.
Mussey with a beautiful follow-up. Taps that one up into the basket. 11-point lead for the Hawks now. 56-45. Victor with the ball. Menelik kicks it over to Rozier Butler. He's going to fire up a 16-foot off-balance shot and misses it. Peppel able to come away with it. He fires an off-balance shot as well along the left baseline, misses it. Goes out of bounds and is over to the Hawks. 4:22 showing on the clock right now. Hawks 56, Shorecrest 45. Kyrie Armstead throwing it up to Joey. Johnson over on the right wing, kicks it back over to Gardner. Long shot from the corner. Mussey's shot is missed. Johnson does a beautiful job of getting up in the air. Bats it off one of the Shorecrest players. MTHS keeps the basketball. 3:56 left on the clock as Gabe Altenberger is going to check back in.
Gabe Altenberger back in from MTHS.
Altenberger had 14 points in the first half. 18 for the game right now. Joey Gardner kicks it back to Armstead, swings it up on top to Anima, who gives it back to Gardner. 3:47 to go. Hawks by 11. Swing it over to the left now. They're down to 15 on the shot clock. Armstead kicks it over to Gardner. Gardner's going to drive into the lane, loses the ball as Rozier Butler did a nice job to get his hands on it. Knocks it away, and as the players scramble for it, I believe they're going to call one of the Hawks for the foul. And in fact, it's on Joey Gardner, who picks up his fourth.
His fourth personal. Eighth team foul.
The eighth team foul against Mount Lake Terrace, so Shorecrest is in the bonus.
Daggy Menelik will shoot one plus.
Menelik to the line, shooting 1-1. Man misses the front end of the 1-1. A nice job by Anima. Starts to fall out of bounds. Very wisely turns around and fires it over to Armstead before he is, in fact, beyond the line. Hawks get the basketball. Anima thought about a three, pulls out of it. 3:18 to go here in the ball game. Gardner still in with his 4 fouls. Very, very wisely slowing it down here. No need to rush if you're the Hawks. You've got the lead. Clock is your friend at this point. Altenberger, the floater!
Altenberger.
Off balance as he's going right to left. He now has 20 for the game. His first points of the fourth quarter. The Hawks with their biggest lead, 58-45. Lawson misses the shot. Armstead comes away with the rebound. Just flat out out-hustled his defender, and he gets fouled on the other end as he gets hammered in the face, and he appears to be in a little bit of pain here as Lawson might have caught him right across the bridge of the nose.
Fouls on Tobin Lawson, his third.
Tobin Lawson picking up his third foul.
Timeout, Shorecrest. It's their final timeout.
And Shorecrest wants to take their final timeout. It's a full timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. The band continues to play, and the Hawks offense continues to roll here at the Terraceum. 58-45. Hawks look to be very well in control of this game, looking to push their overall record to 9-2 on the season, but more importantly,
Armstead will
looking to take their division record to 4-0, which will put them in first place all by themselves. Kyrie Armstead stepping to the line, shooting 2. Hits the first one, giving the Hawks their biggest lead here of the ball game, 59-45. Remind you to stick around after the game. We will have our player of the game interview. If the Hawks can hold on to this victory, will be one of the guys wearing the white uniforms. Armstead misses the second one. 59-45. Daniel Johnson at the scorer's table ready to check back in. Lawson puts up a shot from 14 feet out. Hits the front of the rim. Aubrey Victor comes away with it. He scores the bucket.
Victor,
we mentioned earlier, playing on a bad ankle right now, scores his first 2 of the ball game. 59-47, 2:27 to go. Altenberger lays it up underneath the hands of Pepple.
Altenberger
gets it to go. Altenberger, 22 points here tonight. 8 now for the half. That shot is partially blocked. It might have been Anima. Pepple gets it. Fires it up towards the basket and gets it to go. Pepple now with 12 on the ball game. 61-49. Here comes Derek Anima, 2-on-2. Behind the back pass, Pepple blocks the must-see shot. Rozier Butler coming on the other end. Kicks over the long 3. That was Menelek, missed the shot. He's going to get another attempt at it. Menelek for 3, misses that one. Guess who? Derek Anima with yet another rebound. Hawks by 12 with 1:42 to go. Almost a foregone conclusion that the Hawks are going to get this victory as Altenberger kicks it out to Armstead. Being guarded by Rozier Butler. He drives into the lane, kicks it baseline to Anima. Misses the shot. Victor comes away with the rebound. 1:25 to go here. Rozier Butler looking down low, gets it to Pepple. Pepple's going to put up a 10-foot shot. Bounces around a couple times, finally comes off. Derek Anima with another board. I mentioned he averages 8.8 per ball game. Had a high of 16 on the season against Cascade. 1:03 to go. Massey kicks it back to Armstead. Armstead's going to kick it back to Gardner. Hawks trying to run out as much of this clock as possible. 55 seconds to go in the ball game. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Armstead's going to try to drive baseline. Draws contact, and he'll go to the line shooting 1-1.
Green what?
So we wait to see who the foul is called. And the referee came over and initially said it was on number 7.
Fourth personal
determined there is no number 7 on Shorecrest. So Rozier Butler does pick up the foul, his 4th. Armstead's going to shoot 1-1. And he misses it. Pepple right there to grab the rebound. All of the Hawks pulling back on that play. Rozier Butler with a long 3, throws it out of bounds. Anima doing a nice job of boxing out and letting it fall to the floor, where Hawks will take possession with 42.6 seconds to go. And a 12-point lead. This will be the Hawks' 6th straight victory. Their last loss was on December 12th against Cascade right here in this gym. Hawks playing a little 4-corner offense right now, just trying to let that clock wind out. Mentioned this is the 3rd straight home game in which the Hawks have trailed by 8 points or more, and they've won all 3 games. 20 seconds to go. 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Joey Gardner with the ball right now. Kicks over to Daniel Johnson, down to 4 on the shot clock. Somebody has to shoot. Johnson finally does. Hits the front iron. Rozier Butler's going to come on down the floor. Down to 5 seconds to go in the game. He fires up a long 2. Anima gets the rebound, watches the clock expire, and the Hawks win.
And that's your final 61-49.
Mountlake Terrace 61, Shorecrest 49. We're going to take a very short break. We'll be right back with our player of the game. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network, where the Mountlake Terrace Hawks have moved into sole possession of first place tonight. And welcome back to the Sound Alive Sports Network, where once again our final score tonight, 61-49. The Mount Lake Terrace Hawks come away victorious. Joey Gardner, you are our player of the game. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Nice job. And second time in the last two home games here where you've had a very quiet, we'll say very quiet first half, and then you've come out in the second half and put up some huge numbers. What's going on in that locker room? Are you just feeling your legs and getting it going in the second half? What's it been for you?
I mean, it's like I'm not getting in the first half, so I just got to attack in the second half, see what I can get. I mean, getting to the bucket is your best choice because you either get fouled, you get free throws, or you make the bucket get M1, So that's my way of, getting hot.
Now, I want to take you back to that game against Marysville-Pilchuck. You were shut out in the first half. Yeah. You came out, you scored 10 in the third quarter. Then you had a big three to start the fourth for 13 in about 8.5 minutes. Does that kind of a game for you where, I mean, you're used to scoring about 3 points per game. That's what your average is. When you're able to come out in a game like that and put up big numbers that quickly, does it give you does it give you momentum coming into a game like this? Does it build the confidence? And did you pull from that tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Just builds your confidence for the next game, and then it makes you feel like, I can do this again. But, definitely get it going.
How tall are you?
5'8".
That's the tallest team you're going to play all year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For a guy like you to come out here in a game like this where you've got guys that are 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", walk us through what that's like for you, because obviously when you're coming into a game like that, and especially for somebody like you who likes to drive the lane, you're going to have to put the ball up over guys much taller than you. Is that something you work on in practice, or is it instinctive? Walk me through when Philip Peppel steps up to try to block your shot. What are you thinking?
I mean, both you work on it, and it's just you got to attack the big guy. That's the way to beat them because they're big out there. They want you to shoot that jump shot, the floater. They're going to get it. You got to attack them, get the body contact on them, and protect the ball. So that's the best way I could do it. Just attack the guys and put the ball up high. Like guys like Steph Curry, throw it up high off the backboard.
So big role model for you, Steph Curry. Are you kind of molding your game like him a little bit?
I mean, who doesn't want to be like Steph Curry?
He wins a lot of games.
Yeah.
Speaking of winning a lot of games, you guys are in first place right now, all by yourselves. You were on this team last year that only won 6 games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're a little bit surprised maybe, and I know some of the coaches were picking you guys to finish 4th or 5th in the division. Are you guys surprised at all by your success so far this year?
No, I mean, we've been working really hard in the offseason, but it's still early on. We got a lot of games left, a lot of league play left. We just got to worry about our next game at Meadowdale.
Well, absolutely. So, and before you leave, we got to get the picture here. So you've seen these before, and for me, it's kind of nice because normally I'm looking up at these guys, and I get somebody more my size. So we'll see if we can get maybe Patrick Normile to come down and take a picture for us here real quick. Putting the old Mount Lake Terrace Hawk to work here. He's a little bit older, so he may or may not know how to use one of these, but we'll see. Joey Gardner holding up the shirt there. Huge night for Joey, 14 points. There you go. Career high for you, Joey. Yeah. More importantly, though, you get the win.
Yeah,
hey, congratulations. Go enjoy this victory, and let's keep this going.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. So we'll let Joey go. So once again, 61-49 is the final score. Hawks coming from behind to win this game. Looking at things really quick here as we pull out some notes. Mount Lake Terrace, next home game will be on Tuesday night here against Meadowdale. 7:15 start time. We'll have that one broadcasted also on the Sound Live Sports Network, so we certainly invite you to tune in for that game as well. Once again, the Hawks coming from a 10-point deficit. They win tonight, 61-49. Get you some quick final numbers here as well. Joey Gardner, as we mentioned, 14 points on the night, 12 of which came in the second half. Gabe Altenberger leads all scorers with 22 points, 14 in that first half. Just looking really quickly here, Derek Anema, very surprisingly, only 1 field goal tonight, but he had a heck of a ball game. A number of rebounds, a lot of steals, big-time hustle when the Hawks needed it most. Anema, and here's a stat that is nice, and we're doing this on the fly here, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He scores 11 points tonight. Huge game for him. Shimron Mussey, he comes out, gets 8 points for the night. Kyrie Armstead plays nice on defense again. Hawks getting an all-around good game from their team, and more importantly, the Hawks getting a victory, putting them in first place. So for everybody involved with our broadcast tonight, thank you for watching. Once again, the final score, Mount Lake Terrace 61, Shorecrest 49. You've been watching the Sound Alive Sports Network. Have a good night.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.